Are we? Alaikum salam. I have nothing in front of me to to tell me that we're live. Really? Let me see. Let me see that. Let me see. That's amazing, guys. If anyone is on, just seems like we're live. We're live, but we're a little bit late on the link. So the link is a little maybe 5 seconds late. Obviously, because we're recording and then it goes live, so it's gonna be. I'm in the link right now, and I'm hearing yeah, I'm in the link. I hear myself talking like 5 seconds ago. There's one watching. That's me, probably. Yeah. Okay, I think this is it. Let's go. Indeed, let's go. Yesterday we had 388 bids. That's about 200 bids less than usual. Reason for that right now is because a lot of our drivers have been on the load since Tuesday on the longer loads or mid-sized loads that we're delivering today. So they were not quite an option for yesterday. And I guess we had less drivers available that were green in the system. So, that being said, we had 388 bids that produced 37 loads. So if you look at the bid win ratio compared bids compared to what we won, that's 9.54%, meaning that once again, we needed to place around 10 bids to get one load. And around 30 drivers were booked, so 7 of those had 2 loads booked yesterday. Taking everything into account and the money that was the revenue that we generated, it was similar to days before on the revenue, and drivers that were booked um, earned around $750 per load. Average load pay. That was the average load pay, $750. We had quite a few longer loads yesterday as well. So overall, I would say a little bit above average day. Of course, 37 is not gonna tell you the whole picture, but it was a solid day. That's my feeling as well. I remember we started the day with like 12 active available drivers, and then we had like 45 on loads. So that's telling. And then some of them were delivering in afternoon or around noon, and some of them delivered this morning. So that taken into account will produce this. Righty. Right. They'll tell you. Yeah, they'll tell you how many drivers were not booked. So yesterday, pretty much, we had six drivers that were not booked that were available for the entirety of the day. As you can see, the 033 he delivered yesterday, sometimes yesterday. So he was 9 hours. So he was not available for the full day, but he was available. So we can take him into account as well. The seven drivers that were not booked. Yeah. Mhm. All of pretty much all, not all of them, but not all of them, but Fahim for 033 guy, he doesn't, and then you have everyone else is on full self dispatch. I think, regardless, if they're bidding, they should be able. If they're bidding are suggested as well from Solidarity, they should be able to book themselves. That's not an excuse. In this case, 162 on the list. I know he's in the top spot, but he's been bidding very very good. And I even offered him yesterday for us to pay fuel, a part of the fuel to relocate down to California because he's bidding all the time. There's nothing, we're not getting any lows for him. So I'll see after the meeting what's his decision, but he should be booked, right? So it's not like self-dispatch is gonna be your deathbed. No, if you're using it correctly, you can be a normal guy when it comes to just booking loads and everything else. Indeed. Mm, right. So yesterday we had, yeah, something is off. Total stops, yeah. Probably took loads. that we booked yesterday and that we booked day before, and then you have 77, I guess, something like that. And then total stops, I guess it's only using it's the same thing. Total stop is only loads that were delivered yesterday. I can hear you, yeah. Oh wow, man. So whatever Aldin said was really good. Was really good. He said that Amer and Saad are wonderful drivers, and we want to keep them for many years. And yeah, that's about it. All of Amer and Saad. Hopefully, one day you guys welcome us in Florida, somewhere where it's sunny and nice on a vacation. Can
Wow.
you?
All right. All right. How about now? Can I be heard now?
Ok, Šaban. Šabane legendo, ostavi nam komentar, čuješ li nas?
Bolje kaže.
Ok, super.
Man. Buyurun, buyurun. Okay, you guys can hear us now? Perfect. Okay, what we were saying is this data is wrong. This is not how many loads we had yesterday and how many stops. This is saying we had 77 loads. So we're going to fix this. Tomorrow we're going to bring you guys live data. Let's look at some loads. Munir, I'll have you break this down. You know what, man?
This big
We
boy,
can say who did the load too. I was
sure,
debating on
well,
this, privacy, this and that. It's all good, man. If anyone
alrighty.
has an issue with being mentioned by name,
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. This guy who got this load and this big boy going from Hidalgo, Texas to Saskatoon. I mentioned him yesterday as the guy being stuck in Mississippi, and then he's stuck in Mississippi for like a day and a half. Then he got a load for Texas, and then immediately he got this big boy. So you never know, guys. You might be downtrodden down in Louisiana or whatever, and the next day you might be having $4,000 incoming into your pocket. And that's what happened to this guy. He was booked on this amazing load going up to Saskatoon. It was booked by our dispatcher Moamer, and it was booked, I think, around 7 p.m. yesterday. So it was booked in after hours, almost after pit time. So it can happen, guys. It's not just that the busy hours are the hours where we book our
nice.
guys. And the load is, as you can see, 2,250 loaded miles. The driver has around 230 empty miles. That make it to 2,484 total miles, 2,480 total miles. And then we have to remember he has 700 miles going back to Fargo after he delivers. So everything combined, that's why this load is so amazing.
Yeah.
3,100 miles for
No,
$3,200.
man. Everything
Beautiful.
combined is 2,900 miles. 2,200. No, no, no. You're right. You're right. You're right. I
Yeah.
apologize.
So it was amazing rate. Now the spring will the spring is going to naturally bring these Saskatoon back into action. Older driver or veteran drivers know that every year we had Saskatoon loads almost every week. So hopefully this year is going to be the same. Last year we had them all over from Texas as well, and this is the first one from Texas this year going up to Saskatoon. They're usually well paid. Hopefully you guys will benefit from them.
Phenomenal. Number two best load.
Number two, best load. Let's look at this big boy. It's again big boy, and it's going to Saskatoon again.
Big boy.
Uh,
Is that the load or the driver?
The load, the
Okay.
load is big boy. We're gonna call these loads big boys, and then we're gonna call the loads that are 70 cents a mile out of Texas. We're gonna call them fat boy, or something like that. Let's call these ones
Skinny boys, man.
skinny
Starving
boys.
boys.
Right, right. So this one again going to Saskatoon, picking up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, done by our wonderful Rauda 009, one of our veteran drivers. She got
Not,
booked
not,
on it.
not a veteran, man. Veteran. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, single
yeah,
single digit driver. Not
single
many of
digit
those
driver.
still around.
This driver as well, she went to Alaska, one of the few that went
Yep.
to Alaska. So she's been everywhere, and this is probably 50th time she's going to Saskatoon under BHX. So yeah, hopefully it's gonna have a nice trip. This one is a little bit uh, this once again is well paid, but it's not as well paid as the previous one. So total mileage is around 1,700 miles. Then the driver will have 700 miles back to Fargo. So everything combined is going to be dollar a mile, $2,200 for with miles back to Fargo, 2,200 miles.
Look,
Again,
man.
big boy,
He,
really good load.
here's what I'll say on this. Um, Average driver weekly earnings lately is 2,000. This driver is making that amount in 2 days, less than 2 days. She's picking up on 27th at 8 p.m. and she's delivering 29th at 11 a.m. Now she's gonna go back to Fargo, maybe. And this is the jackpot that you can hit with these loads is if we get a load out of SK. Now that happens, and when that happens, I mean it's a beautiful thing. But she'll get back down to, so really let's call it 2 full days, 48 hours, and she's making what drivers make in 7 days. If she can
Hmm.
get a few more loads, this can be a $3,000-4,000 week. So
Yeah, she.
anytime you have a chance, and Haris knows this the best. I listened to a call of his yesterday, and he can explain this to drivers the best. Like, you know, anytime you can make a good chunk of money on one load, don't worry about if it's paid 90 or 87 or 85 cents a mile or a dollar. Like you're talking about 2,000 because sometimes people will pass up on 2,200 and they'll opt to make $400 instead because the $400 one pays more per mile. No, man, think about your bills don't care how much you made per mile. When your bills
Right.
come in, they look at how much you made gross. Onward.
For all, yeah, for all. Oh, okay, let me cover this, then I'll say something to our viewers.
I mean,
So
say it,
and
man.
all right,
Don't worry
yeah,
about
to
it.
our viewers, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Feel free to ask them. We're following the live chat. I see some of the guys are questioning, saying good morning, and Soada, good morning, Soada. I think yes, Soada. I think this is you, Soada. By the way, Grand Junction, Colorado to Greenville, North Carolina. If this is not you, you were booked on a similar one, I guess, yesterday. So the driver was booked from Grand Junction, Colorado, going to Greenville, North Carolina. This is this is 1,996, so almost 2,000 miles on the loaded and 263 empty miles. Combined, again, 2,063 miles, paying $1,615. I guess this is around 70 cents a mile. I mean, we could have included that as well. I can calculate that real quick. Um,
Yeah, when you're in Colorado, man, the goal is to get booked. Obviously, we do our best to make it as high as we can. Generally speaking, out of Colorado, 70 cents a mile is the rates. In this case, it sounds like there was a lot of empty miles, which we do build into the rates when we're bidding, or majority of them anyway. Um, but yeah, I mean, obviously, mileage-wise, when you compare the rate per mile, it's not the best load. But when you're in Colorado, the goal is to get booked. When you get to North Carolina, you're in a better area than Colorado,
Closer
and
to
then we keep it moving.
civilization,
Right.
right? A little bit more than 70 cents a mile, by the way. You're in North Carolina. That's not Michigan. but you are in civilization. We'll get you booked out of there. So that's the thing. And yeah, Swada confirmed this is her load, and I'm happy that you're booked out of there, Swada. And I'm glad that you're with us as a new driver.
So next thing I want to do, and we're going to make this sort of a reoccurring segment as well, where we highlight a driver. So give me a second. Let me set this up. But you keep talking. Keep people entertained.
You people in that. Let me see if there are any comments, anything to say. Yeah, Swada confirmed. We have 13 people on air. Happy to see you guys on air. Um, invite any of your friends to join as well. And they don't have to be BHX driver. We'll do some jokes for them or something like that to keep
Man,
them
that is
entertained.
one thing I was thinking about this morning as I was brushing my teeth. We need to add logistics joke of the day, and we need to add a fun fact of the day as well. I think just a logistics fun fact. Like, did you know that tires were first made, and then whatever the fact would be.
Yeah, and it's a really good idea for tomorrow. For tomorrow, we'll start doing that tomorrow. Logistic jokes. Logistic joke. Let me think if I have any in my head. I mean, I've been in logistics for 4 years. I should have at least one joke. Or my life has been so boring so much that I don't have any. But let me think about it. Logistic jokes. Logistic jokes are usually memes or like photos. I don't know. There's like a guy who has a gray hair and a long beard and something like that. They ask him, "How old are you?" He said,
Hmm.
22. What do you do? I'm in logistics or something.
Right. So this is what I wanted to highlight, man. One of our drivers that's been with us for a very long time. This is their on-time performance for the last 2 months. This is, well, for the last month and a half, I guess, since February 1st. So Melody Paris has had 60 stops, 31 loads, um, was late on one of them, but it was a justified late arrival, meaning that it wasn't
Mm,
her fault. It was like she was not given enough time, or there was traffic or something like that. And 100% on-time performance on 30 plus loads is absolutely amazing, and proof that it is possible to have this good on-time performance. This is ultimately what makes or breaks us as a company. This is what enables us to get higher rates on loads from our customers. This is what helps us get booked when we're in Colorado. That load we just looked at. Obviously it's not a phenomenal load. It's not a great load, but the fact that the customer was willing to wait for us to have 260 miles to get there might be because of that relationship we've built. And dispatch can attest to this every single day. Customers are getting back to us and saying, I have a cheaper offer, but I'm going to go with you guys. It's things like this. It's the hard work of our drivers. It's our drivers driving through the night, sleepless nights away from their family, all the sacrifices they make. And the Melody in general, man, she's been with us for pretty much, I mean, since we've existed. I think it's 7-ish years now or something crazy like that. I often tell her I don't know why she's still with us. Hopefully we're doing enough to make it worth her time, I guess. And I guess we're doing something right. But she's been an amazing integral part of the team. Been through all the changes, all the developments, all the growth, all the staff changes, all the strategic changes, and everything else. Um,
mm. We have a question here. Very good question. Sorry to interrupt,
uh-huh.
Joe. So to confirm, returning or empty miles are factored into Canada loads. Question by our friend Sean. Very good question,
Sean
Sean. Let
DePaul.
me let me quickly respond to that. So in particular, loads going to areas that are not busy, such as um, Saskatchewan, Alberta, um, Nova Scotia, or something like that. or even if it is up there in Canada, in Ontario or Quebec, somewhere up there above Toronto or Quebec, those loads will have a relocation city, and some of the miles, 50 cents a mile will cover back to those relocation cities. Now, this is only for, like I said, for those distance areas. If you're going to Toronto, you're going to Montreal, we're not relocating you anywhere because either way, we're gonna probably book you the same day out of those places.
Yeah.
So some of you don't know this, and if this is a reason why you don't go to Canada, please open yourself up because this is something that we do take into account.
Yeah, so the thing I'll add on that is we're going to tomorrow, inshallah, God willing, share a map of our relocation cities, and then we'll send it out to everybody so they can see. But we'll share a map where they can see where all of those relocation cities are. And it should help drivers, kind of better understand what we're trying to do in that sense. But yeah, I mean, like Mooney said, Toronto is a relocation city. Okay, um, if you deliver a load like 400 miles north of Toronto, do you know what that area is called? Those cities? I forget.
Uh, Sault Ste. Marie, Barrie, Ontario,
Yeah,
the up there, I don't know. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, pretty much wherever you deliver a load, if it's not in this, it's not. If we calculate the closest star city to that area, right? So even if it's Toronto, we look at how far from Ontario you are, and then we calculate mileage back to Ontario. Now, are you sure that it's 50 cents a mile?
I think first 100 miles are not taken into
Yeah.
account, and then it's 50 cents a mile, I think.
Yeah, the reason I
But of
ask,
those,
man, is because we've made that change so many times.
yeah,
I forgot. I honestly don't know what it is now. I'm gonna
yeah,
talk to.
we try to put it, but just like fun fact for our drivers, what industry is taken into account when it comes to relocation miles is 40 cents a mile. And I asked brokers, I asked, other customers, what do you pay your drivers when they had to Saskatoon, when they had to Alberta? They say back to Fargo 40 cents a mile for the fuel and other expenses, and that's about it. I if Aldin would know better in those circumstances if that would suffice on the fuel and expenses, but that's what they pay. We try to get more, and we sometimes get more on those relocation.
What's the average per mile for fuel that you guys your fuel cost per mile? I feel like the number is like 15 cents. That's the number in my head. Can you guys put in the comments your average fuel cost per mile? Am I off with that 15 cents?
Yeah, we used to say that before. I don't know right now with the fuel situation, but I remember like 3 4 years ago, we would say 15 cents a mile for fuel. I don't know the situation right now, but they know better there on the road.
They do know better, but I've heard people throw out numbers that I know are wrong. So that's actually it. So three things for tomorrow. We're going to have the map city, star city, relocation city map. We're going to have the details on the relocation pay, and then we're going to figure out the average fuel cost. I mean, it's not impossible to figure out. I think most of these pro masters and stuff like that get 15 to 20 miles a gallon, and we just look at how much fuel is. But that's
Mm,
something that every driver should know, and I know a lot of them don't. Um, so we'll help people figure that out. We'll come with some
right.
fun facts, and we'll come with some jokes for you guys as well. Um, I think that's all that we had for the business related stuff, right?
Yeah, right. That's about it. For
Anything else?
13 drivers, thank you so much, guys. Anything else? Um,
Did you guys see
No.
that bridge in Baltimore?
Oh, yeah, I did. I did. I saw that yesterday, early morning. Insane, man. What happened there?
I don't know the details. I think that the tanker or whatever, the container ship, lost power and wasn't able to steer or whatever. Um, I think it's over 10 that are dead and or missing. Um,
Wow, wow, man.
it's crazy. I mean, it just speaks on life. You know, someone woke up and was driving to work. They didn't expect to be part of a bridge that collapsed. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy. Life flashes, you know, like that. Things happen and life-changing events. Somebody lost a father or a mother. You know, somebody's life changed forever on this seemingly random thing. And then they
Right.
said too, like the people that are on the boat. Yeah, so Sad says that he's at 20 cents a mile on diesel,
Mm,
and I think diesel costs more than gasoline, I believe, anyways. So we'll look into that. We'll get the average. How about this? We'll get averages per vehicle type, and we'll have that tomorrow, part of the slideshow. But yeah, I heard
yeah.
that there's like people that are stranded on the what is it called, container now as well, for some time. I don't know how long and why and all of that, but yeah, it's a crazy story.
It is. It is. Probably some of our drivers crossed that bridge. Is it a commercial bridge? People are. It's not just
Yeah, yeah,
a
my
relic of the
my
past. Yeah.
yeah, my father was telling me when he drove the truck, he crossed it frequently.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Right.
we'll conclude there. Have a safe day, everybody. We'll do our best to make it a fruitful day for you guys. Um, and yeah, that's it. Salam alaikum. Be safe, everyone.
Be safe.